Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abby and I'm the owner of A Couple Tumblers, and today we're going to be doing something very special. We're going to be making this tumbler. It is a composition notebook style on one side, and on the other side it is a pencil. The designer and the creator and the inventor of this tumbler is my best friend, Andrea Reed. We are part of a Facebook group called OMG Tumblers and Teas, where she created this Facebook group to help other tumbler makers and also other people who make t-shirts. So if you're not part of OMG Tumblers and Teas, go check it out and join that group. I'm going to link it down in the description down below so that way it's easier to be found. But before we get started, you guys already know what to do. Give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get to it. For this tumbler, we are going to be using a template. You can find this template on Etsy. We actually created this template just for the members of the group or anyone that wants to try out this tumbler if they find it in another group, to make it a little bit easier, because when Andrea did design this, she didn't have a template, and we're like, yeah, we definitely need a template for this because we want to help as many people as we can, and this was the easiest way to go about it. So you can find it on Etsy. Our Etsy store name is OMG Tumbler. No, it's OMG TNT Designs. So OMG TNT Designs, and I'm going to leave the link in the description down below so you could buy yourself one. It is $4, and any of the money that we get for this template goes back into the group for awesome giveaways. So here I am just putting the transfer paper on, or the transfer tape on, and then I'm going to use my little squeegee. I got it from Puzzle Tumblers. You can literally use any squeegee that you have. It will work. And then I'm going to flip it over and just rub in the template onto the transfer tape a little bit more. And then once this is on, I'm going to make sure that this is the correct way, and then flip it over and create my hinge. So if you haven't watched any of my other tutorials where I do full wraps with vinyl, all I do is pick up a little bit of the backing and fold it over, and then I'm going to cut this piece off. Using a hinge is going to help you with your full wraps. This is going to ensure that your tumbler or your template is on straight. But I do have a little bit of trouble with this template. I do not know why. I felt like I mastered the full wrap by now, but apparently not. So here in a little bit, you're going to see me struggle, and all I do is just break the template in half, because it is a half pencil and half composition notebook. So all I do is just break away the composition notebook part, and then I go in and line it up again. Once you have your hinge onto the tumbler, you're going to want to pull up some of the backing from the template, and then you're going to flip it over once more and rub your finger along the vinyl and push off the backing. This is going to ensure that you do not have any bubbles in your template. If you do have any bubbles in your template, it is okay, because you're going to take your vinyl off anyways for the places that you want to put your glitter. I am using a 20-ounce skinny straight from Makerflow. This template is good for any tumbler that is straight. You do not want to buy this template or use this template if it is tapered, because it is made for a skinny straight tumbler. So if you get anything from OG, or if you get anything from Makerflow, Craft Haven, the stainless steel Magnolia, any of those places that have skinny straight tumblers, you are good to go. We do have in the description of the template, we do have the sizes for the Makerflow skinny straights for the 20-ounce skinny and the 30-ounce skinny, and then we also have the sizes for the stainless steel Magnolia. I believe it's a 24-ounce plump. Do not quote me on that, but it's in the listing, so just go and read it. And if you have a tumbler from a different store or business, whatever you want to name it, just go and measure your tumbler by the width or the circumference of the tumbler and the height, and then just put that into Cricut or Silhouette Design Studio, and you're going to be good to go. the vinyl all on, I'm going to be using this printable vinyl that I printed out using my Cricut design space. All I did was find a lined paper image from Google, borrowed from Google, you know, we like to borrow things, but I put it into design space and I sized it to the size of this section here. So this is the top section of the composition notebook, and I also got the quote from Creative Fabrica, and I'm going to leave that also in the description if you like this quote. But I'm obsessed with Creative Fabrica. I pay like a $19 subscription per month, and you get access to all these awesome quotes, awesome designs, PNGs, things for sublimation, fonts even, and just go check them out. They're cool. I like them. A lot of the things that you find on Etsy, you can also find on Creative Fabrica. Once I get this vinyl on here, I am just going to run my finger across the vinyl to create a little crease. So this is going to show me where I need to cut my diagonal line because it does overlap like a whole lot. So once I create this crease in my vinyl, I am going to take my X-Acto knife and slowly cut the vinyl where I put my crease. Now it is time for the fun part. Well, almost to the fun part. We are going to prep our tumbler with some acrylic paint. Since this tumbler isn't prepped with any spray paint, we are going to use acrylic paint, and I just buy mine from, I believe, Walmart, and also some from Hobby Lobby, but it's relatively cheap, so go out and go get yourself some acrylic paint if you do not have any. And putting acrylic paint down before glitter is just going to set a base, so that way you do not have to do 2 coats of glitter, and it is also going to help your glitter adhere a little bit better. I am just pouring some acrylic paint into my makeshift palette. Andrea Reed, she actually uses an egg carton, and I need to remember to do that because I think it is just genius because you do not have any colors mixed. You can just throw it away when you're done or keep reusing it and put the same color acrylic paint into the little egg carton things here. But I'm just going to paint this on. This is going to be the base for my composition dots. I'm going to paint this on and then I'm going to let it dry and also work on the other side as well. I'm going to put this on the bottom, and once I'm done with this, I am going to pull up the very tippity top of the other side, and that is going to be the eraser part. Once my first layer of acrylic paint is dry, I am going to go in with this pink again and just layer this acrylic paint once more because this pink was a little bit streaky, and when you put glitter over a streaky base, that streakiness could show through your glitter. So all I'm doing is just creating a nice smooth base for my glitter. While the paint is drying, I'm going to work on the notebook side. I am going to be using this composition glitter from Hobby Lobby. If you don't have a Hobby Lobby near you, you can buy this glitter from most glitter companies. To apply the dots, I'm going to be using Mod Podge. I transitioned into putting my Mod Podge into a condiment bottle, and you can find these at Walmart. Putting it into a bottle like this lessens the risk of contaminating your Mod Podge with glitter. The Mod Podge I use is the hard coat one. I will never go back and use any other. Once I get a semi-thick coat of Mod Podge on, I will sprinkle the dots, and then after I get full coverage, I will take my finger to pat down any of the glitter that is still sticking up. After I have patted down my composition dots, I'm going to let that dry and work on the other side. That side for the composition notebook is completely done, so we don't even have to worry about it anymore. So here I am just pulling up the vinyl for the pencil part where it's the lead, and I'm going to paint this again with some black, and then once I am done with that, I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to work on the pink part, which is the eraser, since it should be dry by now, and I'm going to use a glitter called Bubblegum from the Glitter Guy. Now that the black paint has dried, I am going to do a little bit of a rinse and repeat. I'm just going to apply the Mod Podge and put on some black glitter. The black glitter that I am using today is called Twilight from the Glitter Guy. I have a lot of glitter from the Glitter Guy only because when I first started making tumblers, I became obsessed with them because they had their glitter in shakers, and I just didn't want to mess with getting bags and then having to buy my own shakers, so it's just a lot easier for me. But I am now transferring into buying from other glitter companies because there are just so many glitter companies out there, and I don't want to be bound to just one company. I know a lot of people are ride or dies for just one company, and that is totally fine. But I just want to expand a little bit more, especially since I found out that there's a glitter company literally down the street from me. So after I apply the black glitter, I am going to go in with some gray acrylic paint. I actually don't have gray acrylic paint, so I had to mix some white and black because you know that makes gray. But I'm going to be painting this gray because we are going to do the metal part for the pencil, and then I'm also going to be using a brown paint from Hobby Lobby to do the pencil part of the pencil. And then after this is all done and dried, I'm going to apply my glitter. For the silver part, I am going to be using a color called Disco Dust. And then for the brown part, I'm going to be using a glitter called Sands of Time. These are both from the Glitter Guy. Now it is time for the last part that we need to glitter. It is the yellow pencil part of the tumbler. I am going to peel up 3 of these sections. There are 3 sections for this template. So if you want to get creative with it, you can do different colors if you wanted to. But I'm just going to be using a yellow. So I'm going to paint this with a yellow acrylic paint, and then I'm going to put 1 layer on, and then you're going to see that it gets very streaky, and I'm going to let that dry and then add another layer of acrylic paint. And then once that is dry, I am going to put actually 2 coats of the yellow glitter. The yellow glitter I'm going to be using today is called Pencil. What better name for a glitter than pencil when you're making a pencil tumbler? It just reminds me of an actual pencil color, right? So I'm going to be using 2 coats of the yellow because I felt like this yellow is translucent in a way and it's not so much opaque. So putting on 2 coats of glitter is going to help hide any of the imperfections or unevenness of the glitter. Once your tumbler is all glittered, do not forget about the bottom. If you're anyone like me, I like to set my tumblers on the table, so if I put glitter on the bottom early on, that is going to mess up the glitter, so I always leave it for last. Once the glitter is all on there, I am going to let this sit for about 30 minutes to an hour to let it dry, and then I'm going to seal it with a clear coat of spray paint, and then I'm going to epoxy it two times to make it smooth, and then we're going to come back and add the vinyl pieces. I also wanted to show off this little desk vacuum that I got. It is such a cute little mushroom. It is $10 on Amazon, and I'm going to leave the link in the description as well, so you can get your own little mushroom vacuum. I know a lot of people have the ladybug. There's some vacuums that are squares, so go find one that you love and use it. It is the best glitter picker-upper. Now that I have 2 coats of epoxy on this tumbler, I am just going to feel around and see if I do have any bumps or places that need to be sanded down. I use a 220 grit sandpaper to sand down any of my tumblers, and then I don't really use rubbing alcohol or wash my tumbler after sanding. I kind of just go in with the vinyl straight on and then I just epoxy it. I never really had a problem with it, but don't do what I do. Go and clean your tumblers. I am just a little bit lazy. So after you sand, make sure to give it a good wash so you don't have any of the epoxy dust on your tumbler and you don't risk ruining your tumbler at all. For my silver stripes, I just went into my Cricut design space and created a shape that was 11 inches long and 0.08 inches high. That is what I did for my silver stripes, and you can use washi tape or nail tape or whatever you have, but I just use this silver chrome vinyl and I cutted it out. So I'm going to apply the vinyl stripes to both sides of my tumbler to separate the composition notebook and the pencil side. And then I'm also going to go in to the diagonal part and separate that too. So after that is done, I am going to put the silver stripes on the metal part of the pencil as well. And I believe I used a thinner size for that, but I do not know what that size is. I think it's like a 0.05 or 0.04. After I have applied all of the silver parts to my tumbler, I am going to go in with some gold striping. I do not remember what the sizes of the stripes are because I already had these cut out because I've used these for an art deco and I just had a bunch left over. So I'm just going to apply this to separate the brown and the black, and then I'm going to outline the little pointy parts of the pencil and then also add some stripes into the yellow going up and down just to give it a little bit more dimension. After I am all done, I am going to seal this with another 2 coats of epoxy and then you are good to go. And that is it, you guys. The assignment tumbler designed by Andrea Reed. If you aren't a part of OMG Tumblers and Teas, go join it because we have so much fun in there, and I am so blessed to be part of a group of wonderful women and maybe some men. I'm not sure if we have any men members, but always, if you have any questions or have something that you want to see, make sure to give me a comment down below and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on a video, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys!